What led to the offensive performance tonight against a good defense?
We had good spacing. We were organized better. I think that allowed us to see where the passes were and where the openings were, and then the guys were very willing passers, which I think we've been throughout the whole preseason. But I think we had some good growth tonight in terms of that organization.
Brian, overall, what do you feel like your team and your staff accomplished this preseason?
I think we established how we're going to work and how we're going to approach every day, how we're going to try to improve on a day-to-day basis. I think we established some of the ways we want to play, but obviously that's always going to be a work in progress. We'll never get there. You're always working at that stuff. But I think our approach and our mindset are the two things that are most important to me, and I've liked how we have established that so far.
I know it's not about one person, but how happy are you for Johnny to have a moment like that, actually a couple moments at the end of a game like that?
Thrilled for Johnny. Johnny's been great. I was worked with him individually myself last year at the beginning, and I've seen the time behind the scenes. So you root for guys like that who's put a lot of time into his craft. Then you got to be in a situation like that to close the game. Really excited for him. Really thrilled for him.
Where's the growth that you've seen in Johnny's game over the last, let's say, year?
I think the biggest thing to me is his defensive impact. Even that last play, he was involved in kind of breaking that up, but his physicality, his defense, his ability to make hustle plays, that's been really important for us, and he's been really good at that.
Bub got a pretty tough matchup today against Jalen Brunson. How do you feel what do you think, what's important about getting that kind of experience, and how do you feel he did?
The only way I think you're going to learn any of these things is to get thrown into the fire, and he got thrown into the fire. He's a great player, obviously. He's a very veteran player, knows all the ways to manipulate the game, and what a great challenge for Bub. I thought he handled it well, and he wasn't afraid of the moment.
Coach, in that final huddle before that offensive possession where Johnny scored the layup, did you say to him you're going to get the ball and put it in the hoop?
Yes, it was all coaching. No, we had multiple angles on that, but Johnny was the initiator. We had, you can see we had the ball in his hands pretty much down the stretch, and we wanted him to make plays, and obviously he made a great one there.
It might have gotten lost just because of how well Johnny played at the end, but two players, Taylor Funk and Jared Butler, really, really played well there. What do you think their impact could be on this team going forward?
Testament to those guys, their work ethic. Both guys have been in our program for, I think we got Taylor midway through the year last year, and then Jared's been with us. Also credit to our go-go staff and 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗏. Like, those guys played a lot of games for us last year down there. Jared was on a two-way, so he played with us too. But just that one organization where we're kind of all connected to each other. That's just an example of guys that when they get the opportunity here, they're really prepared by their coaches, but most of the credit always goes to the players first.
What has stood out to you about Taylor's development in particular? He played quite a few years in college, but then, of course, had the big summer league. And then what have you seen from him lately?
Just has a good sense of how to play, really knows our system pretty well. Rebounds better than you would think. Obviously, everybody sees the shot making, but it's his way to operate within the context of our system is pretty impressive.
Johnny, for you to have those last two moments, it obviously hasn't been the easiest start to your career, but to have those two moments tonight, what did that feel like at the end?
It felt really good just to be able to contribute to a win, especially in that way. But, the main thing is just to go out there and play basketball.
Johnny, can you take me through that huddle right before you scored that layup to put the Wizards in the lead with like 6 seconds left? Did Brian Keefe tell you you're going to get the ball and put it in the hoop, or what was that conversation like?
It was kind of just get the ball, come off a ball screen, and then just make a play. So, I'm glad that he had the trust in me to do that.
And just overall, before that play, you were very aggressive on offense. You were taking the ball up, and you were cutting in the lane and all that. So is your increased aggression something that you're going to really focus on this year going forward?
Definitely, but that's just what the defense was giving me. If they would have pulled over and helped more, I definitely would have found my teammates. But, it's kind of just take what the defense gives you.
How have you felt this preseason training camp in general as you came going into this season?
Yeah, I felt pretty good about it. It's my third one now, so it makes me feel a little older. But, it's just the same thing, just coming in, being focused, having the right mindset going into the season.
And you mentioned the trust that Keefe had in you. Just how about the, kind of going back to you on multiple possessions at the end of the game? What was that like?
Yeah. I felt really good just to have the ball in my hands and, to be able to make plays to help us win the game. But I also got to thank my teammates, too. They were in the right spots. And also defensively and on the boards, too, they helped out a lot.
Can you take us through those last two plays, the layup and then the steal?
Yeah, I think I got the ball coming on the floor with about 40 seconds left, and you got to go for the 2-for-1. So I figured just try to get all the way to the rim, if not spray out to my teammates. But I got a layup. They came back down, scored, went down one. It's kind of just take the last shot and make sure you make it.
You might have gotten lost just in the crowd because of how good of a fourth quarter you had. But can you just talk about Jared Butler and 𝗪𝗓 Funk's performances and how they really brought the offense to life before that?
Yeah, Jared was definitely a facilitator tonight. Also, getting to his spots in the lane, hitting those floaters. But he's just so good with the ball coming off the pick and roll. And then Funk, I told him before he came in, shooters got to shoot to get hot. So that's what he came in and did.
Johnny, Coach Keefe talked about how he was your player development coach last year at the beginning of the season. How do you think that relationship has grown over his new role with the team?
Yeah, it's helped a lot. Him being the head coach and all now, it's not like he can really, pick a select few guys to develop. But, he's always in my ear just telling me, what to do, what not to do, all that stuff. So it's been good to have him, in that higher role now.
I think as a point guard, you have to look to score, and that gets guys going. I think my ability to get in the paint is what draws a crowd, and then my job is just to find the guys based on the aggression, like you said.
And just talk about Johnny Davis and what you saw from him those last 2 minutes and before that as well.
Yeah, I saw Wisconsin Johnny Davis right there. He had the ball in his hands a lot and made a nice move in the game, obviously, and just played with great pace and nice, tough finishes.
Jared, you had a very strong preseason. Do you think that you have, put the Wizards front office on notice on you deserving to be here for the long haul?
I do, yeah. Unequivocally, yeah.
That's
yeah.
perfect. Unequivocally.
Can you talk about 𝗪𝗓 Funk's performance?
He's one of the hardest workers I know, and he relentlessly works on his three, and obviously that's his specialty, and just glad it was able to see it on the big stage, so it was great for him.
And last one for me, what's your level of excitement and comfort heading into the regular season?
It's a monster, but I think it's just chop some wood, carry water day by day, and let the outcomes come as they may, so that's what I'm feeling.